We have this saying in Romania, the mother of retards is always pregnant. And here is proof. The reason that this article exists is because there are a lot of dumb, uneducated, but sympathetic progressives who lap this shit up. And the thing is, like, it's fine if they lap it up and they want to ruin their lives. But the problem is that they also want to ruin ours. And so we need to debunk articles like this and put a shame to the people that are writing it. Look at the title. Look how emotionally manipulative it is. Climate change becoming a major driver of child marriage across Asia and the Pacific. So the implication is that whenever you turn on the air conditioning, a child like this is getting married. So what about when the journalists from the ABC, when they sit their fat fucking ass in an air conditioning newsroom and they're writing this garbage using electricity and pushing it on the internet, how many children are getting married because of you, Claire Campbell? When can we start putting the blame on the people that actually do have money? Because I guarantee to you, if you work at ABC, you get to become fat and fucking lazy, because all you do is you sit your ass all day and try to manipulate people. But anyway, right, what are the justification for this? Well, they're talking about Bangladesh. And this is where the manipulation begins. How much do the readers know about Bangladesh? Sincere question. Has the ABC ever tried to educate people on what Bangladesh is? What culture they have? What is the difference between the rural and the urban populations on Bangladesh? What do they believe? What are their values? Absolutely not, right? Like, Bangladesh is just a place far away where misery happens because we're wealthy, just like everything else in the world, right? Like, that's the leftist mindset. Bad things happen because rich people exist. And because we turn on our air conditioning or we drive a car with gas, people in Bangladesh are having child marriages. Okay, right. Let's read the argument. Holy fucking shit. So, Runa was 15 when she married a man she never met. By the way, this is not even child marriage. This is teenage marriage. Like, we need to finally come to the conclusion that child marriages do exist, right? And those happen at the age of 5 or 7. I like to actually know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm not justifying that marrying at 15 is right or not, but there are many nations on planet Earth where it's legal, and it doesn't happen because climate change, right? And so we can disassociate this from the climate change, because if you have a nation that's like, what, like 500, 600 years old, and the age of consent was 15, the United States being one of them, by the way, look at when it was founded, what was the age of consent, then maybe, just maybe, it's not because of climate change. It can be of other factors that you disagree with, fair enough. But I don't think it's climate change, right? And so basically, like, Runa was 15 when she married a man she never met. Cyclone Remal had ripped through her camp in Bangladesh Cox's Bazar, killing her family, her chickens and her ducks, which were the source of food and income. Runa's mother, who had become the sole income earner after the husband died, lost weeks of labors due to the natural disaster. So, first of all, they did not establish the link between global warming and the cyclone. And I understand this is very important because, see, when we have a warm winter in Romania and we say, well, where's the climate change? They will say, climate is different than the weather. Okay, fair enough. Climate is different than the weather. I understand this from the press. The journalist told me, right? So if climate is different from the weather, the cyclone is the weather. Have the journalists, like, forgot their own talking points? Like, all of a sudden, do they have amnesia? Climate is different than the weather. So you haven't established that the cyclone Remal is because of the climate change. It may very well be, but at the same time, it may be a natural event. And this is what we also see here. Like, later down, they say El Nino. El Nino also did the same shit, right? And so if El Nino did the same shit, El Nino is actually a historical proven meteorological event. It happens quite often, which is why it even has a name, right? And so if you're going to say that climate and weather are different, and you give me El Nino as an example, right? This year's El Nino. How about you go fuck yourself? Bring a scientist. You're a journalist. You're not a scientist. What are the experts, huh? And I hope they don't have a consensus, because when you have expert consensus, it actually means that the experts are pressured somehow. I actually know experts of different fields. You put 20 experts in a room, they will have different opinions. That's not even a joke. I'm serious, right? So when all the experts agree, something is going on. It's does the agreement depend on funding? Is there a pressure to agree? If you disagree, do you get fired, right? Those are important questions that the press should actually investigate. But unfortunately, they're not curious about that at all. And again, the entire article is talking about kids that seem to be 16 or 17. It's my brother in Christ, why do you have to do the concept creep of what a child is? A child is someone that's prepubescent, okay? Teenagers are teenagers. It's completely different. In Europe, for example, a person that's 16 marrying is illegal. And most people think, why should the United States, and not even the United States as a whole, but California, of all places, dictate to the entire human race when the age of consent should be? If a 16-year-old marries a 17 and they have a family and they drive a car and they raise kids, how is that a problem? I'm sorry, I'm European. I will attest to my country's own values. And even America's, there are states in America where what I'm saying here is not baffling. I wouldn't consider that child marriage, okay? Child marriage is when you marry a 7-year-old girl or a 10-year-old girl or a 12-year-old girl, right? That is child marriage. Let's talk about, because that's what people think about when you're saying it, right? That's what I thought when they were discussing it. I didn't think they're talking about the 16-year-old. Surely if it's a problem that's so bad, right? There are a plethora of prepubescent girls that are married, then you can talk about them, right? And then you can actually have an emotional, grounded appeal. But instead, it's okay, well, 16-year-old was married. Why? Because the hurricane destroyed her house. Well, it's better than being homeless, is it not? They don't have welfare over there, you dipshits. Am I wrong here? What do you want her to do? Go into prostitution? Let's be real about it, right? We're talking about Bangladesh. The government does not have the infrastructure and the resources to have, the same wealth that the United States have. And by the way, it's not because America is greedy and capitalist. The Bangladeshi can also become greedy and capitalist, and even if no other army would pressure them, they would still not become like America. The level of corruption there is off the charts. The religion, the mysticism is generally preventing them from doing certain things that would actually enrich them. But again, you don't expect ABC News to talk about those things, right? About those cultural differences. And by the way, speaking of child marriage, I do agree that marrying children at a very young age is a problem. Sure. But at the same time, what the West is doing, where we marry children at the age of 35, that is also a problem. The reason we have demographic decline is this. And here's the kicker. It doesn't matter how you feel emotionally. It doesn't matter the moral argument if your people die out. If the situation continues and the people from Bangladesh are having more children, right? Over 100 years, the people with less children, they die out. And the people from Bangladesh, they win the moral argument by the simple fact that there is no one to disagree with them. So again, this is something that the press should write about. I don't think marrying children at the age of 12 is a good idea. But I also don't think that marrying children at the age of 35 is a good idea. So we're not actually a beacon of morality. We need to fix our shit. Maybe we can start marrying children at the age of 18, since California agrees, right? Maybe we can get it down and stop mocking other cultures that at least are going to be here 200 years in the future. Until we manage to figure out how we can also be there 200 years in the future so we can push our morals as well. Because otherwise, as I mentioned before, they will win by the simple fact that they're uncontested. And of course, this article is saying that, all of these natural disasters, which probably never happened before, it's because of us, right? It's not because of China. It's not because of Saudi Arabia. It's because of us, because we turn our air conditioning on, and you should feel guilty, and you should donate more to an NGO. and should read ABC News more often so you can get updated. The interesting thing that they don't tackle is the cultural issue, right? Like, child marriages have existed over there since way before global warming. And also, if you were to have a natural disaster like this in Romania, right? Like, let's assume that in rural Romania you have like this exact natural disaster. Do you think there's going to be an explosion in child marriages? I don't think there will be an explosion in child marriages. I genuinely don't think so. Why is that? I mean, literally the same disaster, right? Like, you take El Nino and you put it in Romania. How many child marriages do you think will happen because of El Nino? Okay, so like, if your issue is genuinely with child marriages, then maybe you should tackle the reason that child marriages happen, right? So maybe you should look at what Bangladesh believes and tackle that. But you're not going to, because that would be racist. Instead, you're going to attack first world countries for doing literally the same thing this journalist is doing, sitting in a room with a fucking laptop that was probably put together with parts that were mined by children in some other poor country and, used with sweatshop labor in some Chinese country. They're not going to criticize those nations. No, they're going to criticize the Americans. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, we'll see each other in the comment section. Take care.